The sea is an enigma, a vast and endless expanse of shifting blue. For some, it offers solace and escape. For others, it's a source of terror. The idea of what lurks beneath the surface has gripped human imaginations for centuries. It's not just the depth or the darkness, it's the unknown. What if something sees you from below, something ancient, something that shouldn't exist? Tom Lancaster, a man with a deep love for fishing, had spent countless hours on lakes, rivers, and even the ocean, casting his line and relishing the calm. Yet, the sea has a way of changing things, as he would soon discover. It was late afternoon when Tom launched his modest fishing boat off the coast of Crescent Cove. The horizon stretched endlessly, a seamless blend of sea and sky. The water shimmered like liquid glass under the sun, its surface betraying nothing of the abyss below. Occasionally, ripples formed, hinting at life, perhaps schools of fish or passing dolphins, but there was something unsettling about the stillness. As the sun dipped lower, turning the sky into a fiery canvas, the water grew darker, the calm giving way to an eerie silence. The once inviting sea now felt like a predator lying in wait. Tom anchored his boat at what locals called the Drop. It was a spot known for deep-sea fishing, where the seabed fell away into an inky trench. Old-timers told tales of monstrous catches here, fish so big they nearly capsized boats. But there were other, more troubling stories. Stories of lines snapping under impossible pressure, of shadows that followed boats, and of fishermen who never returned. Tom dismissed such talk as folklore, merely a way to keep amateurs from the best fishing spots. He wasn't easily spooked, or so he thought. He cast his line, letting it plummet into the depths, the reel spinning endlessly. As he waited, he leaned back, letting the gentle rocking of the boat soothe him. Hours passed, and the world grew quieter. The sun finally surrendered to night, and Tom turned on the boat's floodlights, their beams piercing the dark water. Just as he began to pack up for the night, the reel groaned, a sharp, sudden pull. Startled, Tom grabbed the rod, his heart leaping with excitement. Whatever was on the other end was strong, impossibly strong. He tightened his grip, bracing himself against the edge of the boat. The fight began. For nearly 15 minutes, Tom battled, the rod bending dangerously, his arms aching. Whatever he had hooked was massive. He imagined a record-breaking tuna, or perhaps even a marlin. But as the line drew closer, something shifted. The water beneath the boat churned violently, and a dark shadow emerged from the depths. It wasn't a fish. At least, not any fish Tom had ever seen. The creature's silhouette was enormous, larger than his boat. Its skin glistened like oil in the floodlights, and its eyes, large, reflective orbs, glared up at him with an intelligence that froze him in place. Then came the sound, a low, guttural groan that reverberated through the water and into Tom's chest. It wasn't just noise, it was communication, and Tom felt, for the first time, that he was the one being observed. Tom would later struggle to describe the details of what he saw. He remembered scales as big as his hands, a maw lined with teeth like jagged daggers, and a tail that moved with deliberate, almost mechanical precision. But what stayed with him most was the sheer size. It dwarfed his 20-foot boat, casting it into shadow as it circled like a predator, deciding when to strike. In a panic, Tom grabbed his knife and cut the line. The tension snapped with a deafening crack, and the rod flew back, striking the side of the boat. For a moment, everything was still. Tom dared to hope it was over. Then the boat jolted. Once. Twice. It was as if the creature was testing its strength against the hull. Tom scrambled to the controls, his hands trembling as he fired up the engine. The boat roared to life, and he sped off toward the shore, not daring to look back. Back on land, Tom tried to make sense of what had happened. The locals, usually eager to swap fishing tales, grew quiet when he described his encounter. An old man finally broke the silence. "You're not the first to see it," he said, his voice low. "The Drop's been hiding things for years, things best left alone." Tom's story became another whisper in Crescent Cove's long history of maritime mysteries. It joined the ranks of other tales, of giant shapes seen from the air, of sonar readings that defied explanation, of fishermen who disappeared, leaving only wreckage behind. Though Tom swore off deep-sea fishing, he couldn't quite let it go. He began researching, obsessing over unexplored trenches and the creatures that could theoretically survive at such depths. Each discovery only fueled his unease. How much of the ocean, he wondered, remains uncharted? What else could be out there? "You're telling me it wasn't a shark?" his friend Mike asked over beers one night. "I know what a shark looks like, Mike," Tom replied, his voice shaking. This wasn't a shark. It was something else. Something I don't think we're supposed to know about." Mike leaned in, his expression serious. "Do you ever think it was warning you?" Tom didn't answer. He wasn't sure he wanted to know. Tom still fishes, but never at the drop. Sometimes, late at night, he dreams of those eyes, of the sound that felt less like a roar and more like a question. The ocean, vast and unknowable, is no longer his escape. It's a reminder that some mysteries are better left beneath the waves,